Hey everyone, welcome in for the next chapter of Hello World. In this edition, we'll be covering the Punisher Slayer. There are many guides out there, but I hope you find some solace and benefit in mine. For our core engravings, we're going to be running Grudge, Ambush Master, Raid Captain, Adrenaline, and Punisher at level 3. For our +1, you can either run Cursed Doll or Ether Predator, alongside the Critical Elixir. There are some build guides that may tell you to go Master with Adrenaline 1, but for the purpose of this guide, we're going to be following a critical path alongside Adrenaline 3. I find that it's a higher value to have more crit, and it feels better to crit. And we're also getting a balance patch coming up here where they're going to be normalizing our damage across other skills a little bit, so I think we're going to find more value there. For stats and accessories, we're going to be running Specialization on every piece, Swiftness on the neck, and then for the bracelet with Specialization you can either run Swift or Crit as long as we're meeting these spec requirements. The spec requirements for this build are going to be 1808 if we're running Punishing Draw, or 1782 with Cruel Pierce. For tripods you're going to need everything level 5, especially the focuses have to be level 5. For the rune requirements, you're going to need 2 epic, 1 legendary, and 2 blue wealth runes. If for some reason you're a little bit short on the spec requirement, like a couple points, you can generally auto attack to make it, but it's going to be a very poor feeling, so make sure you meet the spec requirements. For our skills, we're going to be running Furious Claw with Quick Prep level 5, Burning Hands level 5, Driving Hit level 5, Punishing Draw with Stable Stance, which is a paralysis immunity, Burning Hands level 1, and Chain Attack level 5, Spinning Sword, Quick Prep level 5, Focus level 5, and Squall level 5. Ground Smash with Focus level 5, Tenacity, and Flame Spin level 1. Wild Stomp with Damage Amplification, Swift Attack Prep level 5, and Earthquake Shock level 1. Guillotine with Quick Prep level 5, Furious Blow level 5, and Flame Slash level 5. Volcanic Eruption with Leap level 5, Released Fury level 5, and Bloody Eruption level 5. Brutal Impact with Weak Point Detection level 5. And for this next tripod, there's 2 options. Swift Execution is an instant cast, level 5. Charge Enhancement at level 5 would let you hold it down. For most players and on most content, you're going to have a much easier time succeeding in hitting a back attack with Swift Execution. There are very few instances where I'd say you'd run Charge Enhancement in current game. But if you want to try to min-max, get a little more damage out, you can do that with Charge Enhancement. But for the purpose of this guide, just run Swift Execution, level 5. Fury Greatsword, level 5. Cruel Pierce, if you choose to run that as the optional skill, we dropped it down to level 7. We run Focus, level 5, and Chain Attack, level 1. And here is my Slayer. Currently, I have a 23 weapon, 95 quality. I have a Precise Bracelet with Crit Spec, 1060 stone. I have all the legendary skins equipped. For engravings, I have Grudge, Ambush, Raid Captain, Adrenaline, and Punisher at level 3, and Cursed at level 2 because of my stone. For gems, it's very, very, very important to have high damage gem on Bloodlust. That is your priority, followed by Brutal Impact, Volcanic Eruption, and Guillotine. The next high priority gem, or if not even sooner than some of those other ones I mentioned, is going to be Guillotine. With Guillotine level 9, it allows you to send 2 guillotines in your Bloodlust window. It's still a little bit hard to do that with a level 9, so I highly suggest getting a 10 if you can, but obviously work within your budget and move from there. For cards, we got LOS 30. Now at the bottom here, I have this little V-shaped meter. This is my identity gauge, followed by the Z. The idea is I press my skills, starting with Wild Stomp, into my Furious Claw, which is my Q, into my Punishing Draw, into my Spinning Sword, followed by Ground Smash. Ground Smash does offer Tenacity, so you can kind of change how you prioritize those as you see fit, but that's the order I do them in. After executing those 5 skills, I can then pop my Bloodlust, which is my Z. So first, we always want to send our Synergy, tap our Z, followed by Guillotine, into a Bloodlust. And then you have a little bit of wiggle room, let's say, where I can send other skills. And as this depletes, you can send 1 more skill generally before sending the Guillotine at the end of it. Something to note is with this build, you're going to always want to keep your Adrenaline stacks up because we are running at an Adrenaline 3. That can be a little bit difficult due to how the cooldowns work on this class. So you want to almost have a gap in some of your skills if you're coming in with some skills on cooldown. So we're going to go into the full rotation right here again. Another thing to note is always send your awakening in the Bloodlust window, otherwise it doesn't do a whole lot of damage. So I can keep my adrenaline stacks up here, hit the guillotine again, and then that's the finished rotation. A couple tips. You can build from any angle, so if the boss is in a continuous pattern, feel free to run and hit any way you can to build your meter. If you happen to miss, still try to keep your adrenaline up. Now another thing we can do here is with our Wild Stomp ability, you can send it from a range, and that little line you just saw actually counters too, so I can counter at a range with this skill. Paralysis immunity is equipped on Punishing Draw, so that helps on fights like Theamine during the darkness. We can also run from the side while our Bloodlust is running and use Volcanic Eruption to jump in. This can happen from just about any angle. We just got to get used to the range of it to reach the back end of the boss. There's 2 hits to it, but the larger of the 2 will be the second explosion. The range of almost all your skills, especially Guillotine and Brutal Impact, are incredible. So if you happen to have your burst and the boss runs out of range, I can stand all the way back here and still hit the boss with like some room to spare. Same with Guillotine. So in fights like Theamine, during a donut pattern, I can actually still hit my Brutal. So during downtime, don't be afraid to send your skills. And now a basic 2-minute Trixion test. You notice in this situation, I didn't have all my skills back up due to how the cooldowns overlap. In most fights, you're never going to have a window where you can do continuous multiple Bloodlust like rotations in a row. Try to always auto attack when you have skills on cooldown and you're just trying to keep your damage up. Notice here I have almost nothing up, but we still send it. Landing at about 28 million. And that wraps up the Hello World Punisher Slayer edition. If you have any comments, questions, anything else you'd like to know, maybe the next video, feel free to drop a comment or pop into my Twitch at twitch.tv/JohnPal. I'll see you all around.